Hey, what's going on, everybody? Max here with BB, and today for 10 Minutes Max, I'm going to be answering one of the most common questions that I get on a day to day basis. When and how are you going to be taking profits later this cycle? Very important. I get it all the time, and we're going to dive into it today. I'm going to show you exactly what I am waiting for in terms of what I'm seeing in the charts to take profits. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into the video, guys. First things first, I think it's appropriate to contextualize where I believe that we are within this cycle, okay? And then we're going to get into specifically what I need to see, not just from a timing perspective, but from a structural perspective. Okay. So we're going to start with a chart quickly that a lot of you guys have probably seen me talk about on Twitter before. All right. So I spent some time making this and I made it maybe a couple months ago. And I think it's really important to understand like how Bitcoin typically moves in terms of a cycle. Okay. So what I have here, and then we're going to go over the timing first. And then, like I said, the most important thing is the structure. So stay tuned for that, but we need to contextualize where we are at first. So what we're seeing right here is the previous two Bitcoin cycles, the 2016, 2017 in blue, 2020 and 2021, so last cycle in purple, and then the current one in green. I also have the Bitcoin halvings marked out with these orange dots, and then the US presidential election in red dots, okay? So what you typically see here is basically from bear market bottom, which is where all these fractals start from, and then you can see, currently with our green cycle, it's the FTX capitulation bottom, the true Bitcoin bear market bottom. And what you see here is that typically right around October and November following a Bitcoin halving, which is all three of these, what you see is price kind of tighten up in here, right? Every cycle's done the same thing. After Bitcoin halving, you get, many, many months of chop and compression, and then you start to move up October, November, December, and then basically you're off to the races, okay? So if this time is not different, and I think it's too early to say. Every cycle has things that are a little bit different than the previous one. But ultimately, what we're seeing so far is really not different, right? There's little things that are different, right? So for example, the 2020 and 2021 cycle, this was the 2019 rally, right? And then of course we had the 2020 COVID drop. So we got way out in front of sort of our mean, and then we got way underneath our mean, right? And when I say mean, I just mean like if you were to take a smooth average of all of the cycles leading into the elections, it would basically look like this. This is kind of your average, this gray box, right? You get little deviations below and above, but ultimately, this is sort of your smooth average. If you just got rid of all of the crazy drops and pumps, that's what it would look like, okay? But typically what you see is right around October, November, December, you buy Bitcoin or you start investing, between the halving and the presidential elections. And then typically, from that point, let's just go from like right around here through where the previous two cycles topped, which by the way is crazy that both the previous two cycles, the 2017 and 2021 tops, happened from bear market bottom to global cycle top, literally like almost to the day, the same distance, right? You can see on the bottom here, 1,068 days. For those that have been in crypto for a while, you know how kind of spooky these dates can be, right? But anyways, what am I expecting now moving forward? I am expecting this time to not be different, okay? If presented with new information, we can talk about it, but it's hard to look at this chart and think, yeah, I'm going to give you a compelling reason as to why buying Bitcoin or crypto assets between the Bitcoin halving and the presidential election is not going to age well. Because based on the available data that I have, it seems like it's going to age pretty well. So let's get into what I'm actually going to be looking for, right? Because this is one thing, right? Like this is an important sort of a rough guide as to, where I think this market could be headed. Okay. But what's really important is what we're going to be looking for structurally. Now, this is if you stayed here and you're already halfway through, you need to finish this video because this is going to be the most important thing that we talk about, right? There's a sign that the market tells you every single time, it's about to high time frame top. And it's a structural thing. It's not just an indicator. There are indicators, which we're going to talk about one of those as well. Um, but this is the most important thing. So Bitcoin is up top, and what we're going to do is we're going to put others down below. So quick explanation on what this is. So others is basically it's an index. It's everything in crypto minus the top 10 names by market cap. All right, so minus Bitcoin, minus ETH, minus BNB, minus Sol, like all the top ones by market cap. All right? All the top ones by market cap. So what's the point of us looking at others? Well, the point of us looking at others is it's your altcoin index, right? And altcoins are actually going to tell us when the top is in, not so much Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, I guess both, right? But let's get into it. So let's start with last cycle. Okay, this is one of my favorite examples here. All right, so others is down below, which is your altcoin index. Gotta take this off real quick. And I just put it in orange up top so you can very easily see Bitcoin. Okay, so we've got others down below and we've got Bitcoin up top. All right, now what are we looking for here, right? Before we get a major correction, what are we looking for? So one thing you'll notice here is that Bitcoin finally over here broke structure to the downside, right? Market structure break to the downside after being in an uptrend for a long time, right? You can see, we'll just mark out the highs here, right? Very clear structured uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, and then you had a break of structure, right? And then you bounced into a complacency shoulder and ultimately you went down, right? Now, what was the real tell here? Was it the break of structure? Yeah, sometimes in bull markets you can get little sweeps and then they end up recovering. But what the real signal here was this divergence where Bitcoin bounced into a lower high and others, your altcoin index, bounced into a higher high. Do you see that? Right here. It's in broad daylight. Bitcoin, which is the king, put in a lower high and others put in a higher high, right? So you can see that, others was in the same kind of uptrend here, just like this. Perfect, right? Perfect. And then Bitcoin, yes, it broke structure, but your real signal was this strong divergence right here. When you see altcoins putting in higher highs and Bitcoin putting in a lower high, it's time to exit all markets without question. And by the way, that holds true sometimes on lower time frames as well. I've seen it happen on like the hourly time frames, okay? But when you see this kind of divergence, altcoins put in a higher high, Bitcoin puts in a lower high. But that's one example. Let's go back even further. How about the previous cycle, right? How about the previous cycle? 2 cycles ago, I'm sorry. 2016, 2017. What do we notice here as well? Bitcoin and, a really, really solid, uptrend. We can, go back forever, right? Look at this. Really solid uptrend. And then what do we see here? Bitcoin puts in that, this is, by the way, again, 2017. So this is 2 cycles ago. Market structure break to the downside. Let's see if I can get this to look and not log. There we go. And then what did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin broke market structure, just like the previous example, the 2020, 2021 cycle. And then it bounced up into a complacency shoulder. And Bitcoin put in a lower high. Now let's take a look at what others did. This is so hard to see because altcoins just were pumping so hard in this cycle, right? But we're in an uptrend. I'm not in logs, so it's really hard to see it. Higher highs, higher lows. And what do you see? Just like the previous example, Bitcoin puts in a lower high after breaking structure, and altcoins put in a higher high. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting that the previous 2 cycles, not only on the first chart that I showed you where the timing lined up, right? Where the timing lined up. But the big tell for when the top was in was when Bitcoin had a high time frame break of market structure and altcoins completely ignored it and rallied into a higher high. That is the exit all market signal. It's called the top in the previous two cycles. I'm giving away the house here, guys. I'm giving away the house because here's the thing, like a lot of people they don't know this stuff. Like I remember last cycle, when everybody was I remember this so well. You know, everybody at this time when Bitcoin was bouncing up into the shoulder, they kept saying, "Oh, Bitcoin's going to catch up. Look at altcoins are pumping. Like Bitcoin's going to go to new highs. Like altcoins are telling you that Bitcoin's going to go to new highs. Bitcoin's just lagging." That doesn't work like that. Bitcoin doesn't lag altcoins. Bitcoin gives altcoins the all clear, right? It's obvious in hindsight, right? I'm not going to act like it's super obvious, right? But keep this in the back of your mind, right? Don't be a fool like many were, and truth be told, myself included, you start to believe that, this will never end because you're up so much and you're having so much fun. Remember this. When people start telling you, "Oh, altcoins are leading Bitcoin," that's not so much the case. Rarely ever. Very, very rarely ever. Okay, Bitcoin leads altcoins. Bitcoin tells altcoins what to do. So, one other thing I want to get into now that we went over these two examples, and we could look at it, for this cycle and kind of forecast it out, and I mean, really, you'd probably just see something like this, right? You'd see Bitcoin, come up like this. I mean, again, it's going to be longer than this. I'm just showing you again. It would look like this, and altcoins would basically at this point just do this, and then they would both nuke together, right? And you'd see altcoins put in the higher high and Bitcoin, put in a lower high like that, right? But I want to jump over here to the BB terminal, guys, and show you another one of my favorite indicators. Okay, this is available on the BB terminal amongst a whole bunch of other indicators, right? You've got literally everything you could ever need or want. We're adding hundreds of new indicators, but this one is called the Pi Cycle Top. Okay, so actually it was fit in hindsight before last cycle. So meaning like it wasn't around in 2013, 2014, and I don't even think in 2017. And it just so happened to call the first top last cycle perfectly. But basically, what it is, it's a high time frame oscillator. Okay, so it's got these two moving averages. It's got the 111-day SMA and a 360-day SMA times two, so slightly modified. And when these two moving averages cross, you can see it's called every single top for Bitcoin besides the double top of last cycle. Okay. So you can see here it's a really interesting way to show when the market is getting severely overheated. All right. So look at right here. Called this one in 2013. Then again, called this one here later in 2013, basically 2014. These moving averages crossed. And then moving forward over here to 2017, price is moving up. The moving averages cross within a couple days of the all-time high, right? The moving averages cross. You can see the green lines crossed, called the top. How about last cycle? Moving up, moving up, moving up. And look at that. They cross within like 2 or 3 days of the first top. The April May top of 2021. Right here, perfectly called it, right? So right now, well, let me take one step back. With the Pi Cycle top, you can see that every cycle, the top has happened well above the 365-day SMA, so the top green line. Price has been way above it. The yellow line is price. Pi Cycle moving averages are down below. The top happened above the 350-day SMA before the cross, right? Both cycles. 2017, price was above the Pi Cycle moving averages as well. How about last cycle? Price was above the moving averages again, and then they crossed. Where are we at this cycle? So currently, the top moving average is at 114,000. You can see there. So if price gets above that again, in order for these to cross and once again be a reliable signal, which again, it hasn't failed yet, so it's worth considering, right, as another piece of confluence, The expected Bitcoin top would be well over 115,000, right? According to the Pi cycle top indicator. I mean, you would see price up here, in the 200K region potentially, right? And then when these moving averages cross, just like they have 1, 2, 3, 4, it's called 4 out of the past 5 tops, we would expect this cycle's top to be well above 115,000, probably closer to 200 again. So just wanted to share that with you guys. We got a bunch of indicators on here. And again, if you want to try out the BB terminal, links are down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for being here. Before you guys go, please consider liking the video and also subscribing if you found some value out of what we just did here today. And last but not least, guys, please consider checking out the links below. I gave you a little sneak preview of the BB terminal. It is an absolutely awesome product, guys. It's a Swiss Army knife. It's got all of the tools and data that you could ever need or want in order to succeed in these markets. And we custom built it here at BB. We spent about 9 months to about a year, actually, building this thing from scratch. And we are now in beta, so you can actually use it. It's heavily discounted right now. And if you buy the BB terminal, you can also pay in crypto, guys. If you check that out, you can pay in crypto. You're going to get access to our Telegram alerts channel also. But if you really want to take your trading to the next level, guys, check out one of our Discord packages. What you can expect there is 3 hours per day of private live voice calls with me and the entire BB team and community. We have active positions channels, TA channels, things that we don't talk about here on YouTube or on X, guys. There's nothing like it out there. And within the BB Discord, you're going to get free access to the BB terminal included for free. There is not another community out there doing what we're doing, guys. So we continue to reinvest our time and our money into the community, and that's why people love it and they stay. So this market is too big to navigate alone. I encourage you to get out there, find your group. We certainly want to be that group for you. Maybe, it's not what you're looking for. Maybe it's exactly what you're looking for, but my trading has gotten exponentially better. My confidence in these markets has gotten exponentially better when I surrounded myself with the guys on the BB team and the BB community. A bunch of guys, like-minded individuals that take it seriously. So definitely consider checking out one of our Discord packages. But if not, join us with BB Terminal plus Telegram. Last but not least, guys, check out the BB Academy. If you like my charting here today and you want to learn all of our tips, tricks, secrets, everything like that, how we cumulatively as a team here at BB have navigated these markets from a technical and fundamental perspective for decades, check out the BB Academy, guys. I just dropped a free course, how to make your TradingView charts look beautiful. Important first step. If you don't know how to look at the data and manipulate the data to be easier to understand, you're going to struggle. So check out that free course. But if you really want to take it to the next level and expedite your journey towards understanding these markets, check out the paid course, guys. There's nothing like it out there. I honestly can say with confidence, it's one of the best courses, if not the best trading courses for all levels, beginner, intermediate, advanced. It covers everything you need to know. So a lot of people out there, myself included, teaching TA for free and FA. But there's a difference between a paid product and a free product, and you guys will see that if you join the BB Academy. It's an absolutely awesome course. But yeah, join us somewhere, guys. Join us in the Discord. Check out BB Terminal. Check out BB Academy. You can pay in crypto now for our services, so major, major benefit. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for being here. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Take care.